Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the lighthouse. No, you can't leave from there. Welcome to today's Qigong gathering. So take this first moment to simply come into standing and to come into presence, the quality of presence that is always present, so that we can be powerful participants in the preciousness of our planet in this potent time. You need to relocate. So for today, I want to really focus on, a choreography of forms that will help us to cleanse, the physical toxins out of many of the vicinities in our body, but also to, cleanse the physioanatomy and the psychomagnetic field of the old mold of fear. There's been just an ineffable amount of fear that we've been holding and working through and working with in this particular time. And so this choreography today is to help clear out that old mold. So, whatever emotional or existential urgencies you may be currently carrying, invite it into the round of today's flow. Every time we practice, it's a choice point. And during this time, there's a tremendous amount of polarization and pressurization. And when we have polarization and pressurization, there also lies the codes for the force to propel, the propulsion force. So ask yourself as we begin our flow, what direction am I committed to propelling myself in? What direction? How am I using that P force? And let us also use a plentiful amount of the G force, the generative friction that allows us to be touched by and to be in touch with our emotion and our beauty and our bravery. So you want to use today's flow to foster the frequency of your essence, and remember that your frequency, it is an iteration of your insurance in the whole cascade of your life experience. Use today's practice to cultivate a frequency shift, and wherever you need a shift, remember that joy is a frequency that you can elect to participate in, and thereby increase the G-force of gratitude in the flow of your life. Gratitude is good for our health. So let's get into it. Bring the hands into a cupping posture, and then bring the hands to the bend of the hips where the thighs, you need to, hopefully she'll just relocate. The dog somehow has this supernatural ability to find racquetballs when I'm teaching Qigong. It's like she gets very excited about the Qi energy that's in the yoga room here. Anyway, so we're gonna do some cupping to just stimulate the bone heat and the rich, powerful flow of blood. So cupping down the front of the thighs to the ankles, and then pass the hands to the back of the legs and cup the hands up the back of the thighs. So cup down the front, exhale, and back up the back of the thighs on the inhale. Do it one more time, please. Down, and then up. And then bring your right hand to your left elbow and your left hand to your right elbow. And position your crossed and conjoined forearms so that they're in between the top of your pelvic bone and below the lowest rib. Okay, so fitting it in there. Sometimes I have to kind of, do a little bit of manual adjustment to feel like everything's in its proper place. So we're using our crossed forearms in this manner as a stimulating tool as we go into both a forward fold and a back bend. So I'm gonna keep my hands and arms as they are, and I'm gonna fold on the out breath into a forward fold. And then on an inhale, I'm gonna bend my knees just a little bit and start coming up with a straight spine. Go deep into the heart of the inhalation, absolutely undeniably catching the breath. And then still with a micro bend in the knees, drop the head and heart back. Inhale, coming up, straightening the knees. And then exhale, folding forward.
forearms into that space between the top of the pelvic bone and the bottom of the ribs. Inhale, slight bend in the knees, long, elongated, extended, and expanded axis of the spine. Inhale, coming up, still preserving a little bend in the knees. Liberating the forces for spontaneous growth, for spontaneous wellness. Allow for the uprising, the upwelling, the ground swell of well-being. One more time. Straighten the legs, exhale. Oh. Don't be surprised if this feels confrontational when you're in this particular aspect of the flow because, well, all of the obvious reasons. The presence of the forearms is relatively foreign. Typically, you wouldn't have them there if you're forward folding. Now, open the arms, lift the heart to the sky, and give everything that you were just sending through your body space to grow inside of you. And then coming back in and up. So we're going to create a dynamic gesture with the hands that I like to think of like when I'm making bread or making some kind of dough. And it's this like, you know, kneading posture. So the fingers are alive. There's a kind of evolutional electricity in the expression of the fingertips. And we're going to cross the hands, and at the same time I'm collapsing through the whole community of the spine. I'm crossing the hands in front of the middle dantian at my heart center, and then I'm going to open up. Inhale. Exhale, I'm going to cross in the same midpoint. Squeeze all of the bones with the outer large muscles of the body, and then inhale. Open up, bringing the right hand alongside the right eye and ear, left hand alongside the hip. Collapse, knees bent. Out breath. Go to that 0 point state. Let go of all of the holding patterns, all of the residue, all of the old mold of fear. Left hand up alongside the eye and ear. Palms of both hands are now oriented towards the floor here for a moment. Hang the head back. In that G-force space, the generative friction that allows you to be touched by your own emotions, beauty, and bravery. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale, moving from empty force, allowing your body to move like incense or steam or smoke. Good, and then bring both hands up in front of the face. Rotate the left palm to face the floor, lift your heels. And then ground the palms of the hands in front of your heart, in front of your diaphragm and sternum. Passing in front of the belly, drop the heels, push the hands all the way down, and then swirl the hands in front of you. So the palms, the eyes of the palms are now momentarily facing forward. And just bear witness, be in that witness presence, witness consciousness, so that you can feel all of the liberated forces of spontaneous growth that are surging through you, even after just these first few forms. So we're going to similarly collapse at that midpoint, and then I'm going to twist and pass my right hand in front of my belly alongside the right hip, passing it along the girdle vessel of my pelvis, and with the palm of the right hand down and the palm of the left hand up, I'm going to push the hands in opposite directions, parting heaven and earth, and I'm going to hang my head back to look beyond the tips of my left fingers. I'm still in that sort of bread kneading posture. It's generative, it's capable of moving, it's kind of like each finger is a living lucidity conduit. Good, now come back through and really yield to that
0 point in the middle.
Pass the left palm in front of the lower dantian, along the outer left hip. Pass it along the outside of the left side of the pelvis. And then with the left palm down and the right palm up, parting heaven and sky, heaven and earth, push the hands in opposite directions and look beyond the fingertips of the right hand. Hang the head back, part the shoulders, give the neck space. And come back through, collapse. Let's do it once more in each direction. We're allowing for small homeopathic transformations in the placement of the feet. Really yield to that intersectionality that happens right here. So everything dissolves in a moment of no form to collapse and rearrange and take on the freshness of a new form. I've just passed my right hand consciously in front of my belly, along the outer right hip and pelvis, and now the right palm is pushing to the earth as it transitions along the back of my left thigh. Left palm is up and I'm pushing the hands in opposite directions. Hanging the head back to look beyond, embodying the infinite. You as a human being are the infinite personified. Normalize the gaze and the alignment of the head and the neck and slowly yield to that midpoint. Pass the left hand consciously in front of the belly, along the left side of the hip and pelvis. The left hand is going to be traveling down the back of the right thigh, left palm down, right palm up, pushing heaven in one direction, pushing the earth in the other direction. Hang the head back and witness yourself as this most spacious embodiment, a pillar of clarity between these two power places. And come back through and collapse. And simply take the left arm straight up, lifting the heels, and collapse to bring the left arm down, drop the heels, and take the right arm up and the left arm down. Propelling yourself in a conscious forward, upward direction. Good, and then ground the hands. This is my big chance, guys. The racquetball just wandered in on its own accord. I'm gonna just put that right there. We're gonna forget that it even exists, and we're gonna move right along. So let's get into dragon a little bit here. Stand on your right leg and bring your right hand on top, left hand on the bottom. Find the ball of chi in the void space, the empty force that is between the palms of the hands. Lift your left leg and have a moment of patience. Patience is a powerful force. Feel the evolutional electricity in the axis of your spine. And kick your left leg out to the side, drop the heel, ball of the foot and toe, and then push about 50 pounds worth of pressure down. Straighten the arms to fullness, but not to locking the elbows. And then push your buttock bones down so that you can really find the dignity and ascent of chi in your spinal column, using the central channel of your spinal column as your vehicle here. Now we're going to take the right arm with the palm of the hand facing up and the thumb lifted. The right hand is going to pass alongside the right ear, and it's going to push up, and the left arm will fan back, and I'm going to twist in such a way that I'm looking at my left thumbnail with my right eye, which is maximizing the ringing out and recalibrating of the nervous system and many of the eliminative organs, so that that old mold of fear gets the eviction notice, and we feel cleaner and clearer and far more functional on the other side of practice. Good, and then come back through. You're gonna Draw a big calligraphic diagonal line with the fingertips of the right hand in front of the body, heels in and toes out. Magnetize just ever so slightly the back of the hands in towards the outer shoulders, and then exhale, offer it out, moving like steam or smoke or incense. Good, now bring your left hand on top and your right hand on the bottom. Find the ball of chi for a moment. Spontaneous forces of growth liberated with each breath, arising and departing. Hover the left hand on top. Find the animation all the way through from the hara in the belly and the heart in the center, dantian, all the way through to the ends of the extremities. Feel it in your toes, feel it in your fingers. Stand on the left foot and bring your right leg in. Lift the right leg and bend the left leg just a little bit. You know, there have been so many emergencies that we've been navigating as a species. The list is long and I won't take time to name them because we're all very aware in this community. We're so awake and concerned, so much care and concern. But in each emergency is the encodement for emergence. You know, how a wound occurs, whether it's within the individuation of your single human body or within a species or within the planet. How a wound occurs is how the healing also occurs. Be open to, you know, to the teaching and to the tenderness that's underneath the trauma. Take the right leg out to the side, drop the heel, the ball of the foot and the toe, and then push 50 pounds of energy down, pushing with the left hand, spread the shoulders, tuck the low ribs, push your buttock bones down. Straighten the arms to fullness, but not locking the elbows, so there's no choke points in the physioanatomy. Everything, your whole being, the entire environment is a space for flow. Now with the left palm up and the thumb lifted, pass the left hand as you swivel on the feet, alongside the left ear and alongside the head, and then fan the right arm back and twist as the right thumb lifts. Twist so that you're looking at your right thumbnail with your left eyeball. Pull the shoulders down and separate them on an east-west track. Never worry about what it looks like. Be concerned with the innermost happening. Now, diagonal force. Let the left hand be a big, graceful calligraphy brush. Pass the left hand in front of you. And for a moment's time, pull the hands in towards the shoulders and then push them out. Good. And then step the feet together and push the hands down and simmering into the freedom within you that is not the product of a practice, but the freedom within you that is 100% available all the time because you're here, because you have the dignities and freedoms of human brain. Move into the center of your human brain, move into the center of your human heart, and liberate space for the journey to grow within you. This work is a journey. It's not, you know, a snap release into a completion state and never having to do anything about it ever again. That's why we call it a journey. That's why we call it a path. That's why we call it a practice. Palms down. Good. Step your feet so that you can come into a nice squat, whether that's high and bright or deep and low. It's entirely up to you. Curl the first two segments of all the fingers in towards the eyes of the palms of the hands and bring your tiger claws and paws in front of your shoulders. So inhale here, and then with a deep, emptying, essentializing exhalation, push the hands and the arms forward, collapse through the line of the spine, and shift your gaze toward your navel center. Squeeze. And then swirl the hands out and down, in And then bring the hands and the arms up. Bring the backs of the hands so that they're facing each other. And then scratch a big tiger calligraphy mark on each side of the body on an exhale. As you bring your elbows in towards the sides of the hips and look up. Good. Now look forward, inhale. And bring the tiger paws in front of the shoulders again, and then pass them along the sides of the body and push them down towards the earth. Inhale, lift the arms back on a diagonal. Circle the tiger claws back behind you. You may even feel it being expressed a little bit in the shoulders. That's great. And then take the arms forward and bring the hands back in front of your shoulders. Let's do it one more time. Straighten the legs just so that the joints stay enthusiastically on board, because if they go into exhaustion mode, then your body starts, only functioning at half-mast. We want to access all of the magic and medicine in every micro movement. So create the tiger claw again. Find whatever squat feels like home for you today. Inhale here. Exhale, push forward. Inhale, circle the hands out and down, in and up. Now bringing the hands, the back of the hands together, bring the arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, take the hands out to the side, elbows into the hips, and gaze to the sky. Look forward, inhale. Bring the tiger claws in front of the shoulders, and then with the knuckles pointing down, scratch a line going straight down towards the earth. Once the hands are all the way down and the arms are fully extended, orient the tiger paw palm towards the ground. Good, so we've got flexion, powerful flexion in the wrists. Inhale, lift the arms back on a deep diagonal. Circle the paws. Exhale, bring the arms forward. And then step the feet together and relax the hands in front of your body. Stepping into, as you come into this still point here, suspended in elegance, into your inimitable, individual, unique, original autonomy. The wholeness of who you are. The truth that wholeness is already here. So I want to do one more. I'm going to do a quick time check. Good, we've got time. One more form. So throwing out the trash. I was talking about evicting the old mold of fear, which tends to build its nest in the lower back body, particularly in the vicinity of the kidneys. So we're going to really consciously be clearing this area of the body in this form. So we're going to take the arms up and back, and then exhale, send the hands through the void space between the lower legs and the knees. Exhale, inhale, up and back. Keep the hands together for this moment, and then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time, taking the arms out and up, opening the heart to the sky, and then pass the hands alongside the outer thighs and knees and up on the out breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good, one more. Oh, and then coming up to standing, coming into presence. And step the feet together, please. And allow yourself to mingle in the fecundity of the moment. A little lifeguard practice here. Weiqi practice. So lift the hands. Sorry about the notifications popping in. Inhale, bring the hands to the belly. I jumped out of a retreat to jump into this portal and to do some Qigong with you. Because I value this group so much too. So we're going to bring the hands up in front of the face and up and over the head and back behind the head. So slow. And then back in front of the head. Inhale and then exhale, similar to taking out the trash with a little bit of an empowered snap release. We're going to just get rid of it. And then bring that galvanizing, airbrushing, Weiqi essence, passing it up in front of the lower belly, up in front of the heart, in front of the face and the head, up and over the head, passing it behind the head, back up over the head. And then with that snap release and a powerful exhalation out of an open mouth. And even a little jump, right? Even a little jump through the feet. Let's do one more. So find the presence. Find the presence. Inhale, lifting it up. Passing it back to the front. And letting it go. Letting it all go. And who remains when you let go of everything? Who remains when you let go of everything? Bring one hand to your lower dantian and the other hand to your middle dantian. Standing in the grace stature of your own awakening. Sometimes it is the gentlest of graces, and sometimes, very oftentimes, it can feel like putting our finger in the socket and getting shocked by the electricity of our own transformation. But it's all necessary, and it's all the deep and noble work that is disrupting the old patterns that keep us tethered to being who we were and perhaps who we have outgrown, so that we can feel the allurement of becoming super abundantly present, and therefore somehow even supernatural, in our supernaturalness, not in the artifice of our, crusty beliefs and concepts and opinions and projections and expectations, but in our super abundant naturalness. This is where you are right now. So soft, so available to the fecundity of the moment. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Sat Nam.